initially asked about whether or not this is a trap. I think it's irrelevant about whether or not it's a trap or whether this is a genuine attempt at finding consensus. Because either way, Theresa May is bad at it. Because if she'd wanted to set an effective trap for Labour, or if she genuinely wanted to build consensus, she would have reached across the aisle 3 years ago. That did not happen. Instead, what she did was played Brexit as an issue of party management, trying to appease the ERG, who actually don't want to be appeased. They want her head on a platter. And now she's saying to Jeremy Corbyn, look, let's come up with a deal as long as it broadly resembles my deal, which you've rejected 3 times. And he walks into the room and he goes, OK, let's talk about this. I'm not sure how much constructive material can come out of a meeting like that. It seems to me that Theresa May is doing what she normally does, which is saying, you're not listening to me hard enough, and now let's do it in a smaller room. But there's no room for compromise there. Something which is going to annoy everyone in the room, so at least there'll be some unity. There is one kind of people's vote that really matters, and it is the constitutionally appropriate thing to do, and it is have a general election. Because I'm no Brexiteer, all right? I voted Remain, but I'm not willing to throw away the vote of 52% of the electorate. What I want to do is take that result, take the fact that when Theresa May put her vision of Brexit to the people in the 2017 general election, she lost her majority, and say, how do you synthesise these into a compromise? For me, that compromise would have looked like something like Common Market 2.0, or a soft Brexit with a customs union, and that protects the rights of EU citizens. Because of ideologues in Parliament, so the headbangers in the ERG, but also the MPs who represent the party formerly known as the Tinge-Pendant Group, they're just burning bridges, left, right and centre. They're getting rid of that space for compromise. And when nothing can get through Parliament that resembles the mandate that they were given, the mandate that they were given was for compromise, I think you have to take it back to the people in the form of a general election. Really right to identify with existing pressures, because unless you fund public services properly, education, children's social care, healthcare, piling on another statutory obligation isn't going to help anyone. So just up the road in Lambeth Council had £238 million taken out of its budget. It's got to find roughly £37 million in savings in the next 4 years. What do you think that's going to do for its children's social care services, for its early intervention services, all these things that we know are effective at reducing rates of serious youth violence? And one thing which really winds me up is that we have this conversation when it comes to violence again and again. We wring our hands, we go, oh, what is to be done? You open up the pages of the Evening Standard when you're on the tube home, you look at serious youth violence and you go, oh, this must be the result of poor parenting or some kind of cultural pathology, rather than poverty of the kind that its editor, George Osborne, engineered and oversaw with years of austerity. And in terms of knowing what works, we have a model that works in terms of reducing serious youth violence. It was trialled in Glasgow and it worked in Glasgow. Glasgow, once upon a time, had the highest murder rate in Europe, and it's now roughly half what it used to be. And what you need is money and you need manpower. You need good workers who are well paid, who aren't overworked, who are working in social work, who are working in the healthcare system, working in education, and all working together to protect and to support at-risk youth. And you know what? That is the thing which will stop this epidemic of violence in our cities.